requests.
Gotcha. Oh,
We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're Drive-in Theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Hey kids, what's up? Oh, my camera's all weird. I needed to adjust it, but somebody was late and
doggy.
didn't get here on time, making me have to hustle all around. But what's going on? You're tuned into the Drive-in Speakerbox. It's another Monday night. It is May 10th, 2021. We're officially in the future months, flying cars. 2021. I don't know. Saying it out loud is always really weird to me. Makes me think of every movie where it's like, and it's like the date, and it's always 2021.
We're supposed to have robot baseball now, right?
Yeah, all sorts of crazy stuff that we should have. But anyway, we're here in the studio. Thanks for joining us. I am the boom operator.
I'm the grip.
And we're going to be talking about movies tonight like we always do. And we went and saw, I actually got a chance to see the movie as well. Went and saw it early. And got so we're going to be talking about Wrath of Man tonight, the new Jason Statham, Job, and we're going to be talking about that later in the program, and movies that are coming out this weekend, because there's a lot of movies coming out this weekend, more than normal, because people are returning to theaters, which is good. That's exciting. That's fun.
Welcome back to the movies.
Yeah, it's what it said at AMC. It's just like 100 years of AMC getting sound wrong and your picture full of blurry. The soda machine needs bricks and the popcorn stale. Welcome back to the movies.
That stuff is still hanging down from the curtains.
Yeah,
and blocking your view.
I actually was at our AMC, and I love our AMC. I really, really do. And I poke fun at them a lot, but the soda machine really needs to be bricksed, like hardcore. And bricks is when you dial in the amount of the soda syrup to the soda water in the machine. And they have those fancy like touch Coke systems where it's just like beep bop boop, and you can get like Coke Zero Cherry Vanilla Fart or whatever, mixed with sparkling Dasani lemonade and Mr.
Fart's
Pibb.
probably right,
and like
if that's what you're getting. Yeah.
one button.
The key is to run whatever soda you want before you start putting it in your cup, so that you don't taste the soda that someone poured before.
The leftover soda, the soda remnant. The Coca-Cola Freestyle machine. But I feel like the AMC here has not, that the Coke Freestyle machine sat unused for 7 months, and then they fired everything up. And that stuff needs calibrated, And then I talked to the guy, and he's like, "Oh, it's all automated, man." And I was like, "Yeah, well, even automated things need calibration." He's like, well, there's a guy that comes around, I guess, every third metric hex of the Valdrani, and last time he came in the form of a giant slower. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you need to call that freaking slower and have your soda machine bricks, because it tastes like shit.
Well, just when you imagine the Destroyer, imagine them as a Coke service guy.
Yeah, just a fat service tech. I assume he's a fat service tech. I don't know why all service techs. I guess it's like every Joe Dante movie from the 80s that had like a blue collar repair guy was always like a fatter dude with like a big tool belt and like unnecessary tools for their job, but they like kind of John Candy and Arachnophobia style, like he's there to kill spiders. Why does he have a tool belt that has like
Goodman?
John Goodman, that's what I'd say. But why does he have like a power drill and like all these things on his tool belt if he really just needs to go spray some shit? I don't know. Anyway,
John Candy and Arachnophobia
would have been awesome.
Would have been really good, like if he was the character from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but like in Arachnophobia.
Oh, that would have been great. That would have been freaking solid. Anyway, I was really upset about the Coca-Cola machine. It really bothered me. And I'll get over it because I didn't even use my reward points for that soda. I paid full freaking price for that thing.
Dog, I used my reward points. He tried to charge me money, and I was like, "I got them rewards." He's like, "Oh yeah,
I forgot about that button."
And then you know how much my concessions cost me?
Nothing.
88 cents.
Oh, tight. Yeah,
Because where we're going, we don't need money.
Well, says Dogecoin, which I don't know if you guys. I mean, I guess
Going to the moon.
It's relevant for the movies. Elon Musk, everyone's least favorite, I guess, autistic guy that's a billionaire was hosted Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, and just was like, "Hey, BT Dubs, autism."
Yeah, and then everybody's like, Dan Aykroyd was actually the first SNL with autism, and we don't call it Asperger's anymore because Nazis or something. And that was really news to me. I had no idea. Yeah, Dogecoin, it's the future of money, man. Anyway, let's get caught up in the comments here. Hey, shout outs to McLean, Sam, Travis, Vince, Counterexample, everybody out there on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook's already jumping in on the chat, which is awesome. Hey, guys. And if you're listening at home or listening to the podcast, not on a Monday night, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, set your alarms in your calendars or your whatevers that you need to be reminded. And join us Monday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time on any of those three platforms, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. We do it live. We F it. We do it live. We throw the mic down just like Bill O'Reilly, and we get it done. I mean, we do the show 100% live. We don't script. We barely even plan. We just...
There's some planning?
I mean, sometimes.
Oh.
I mean, I'm up here, I got up here at 5. And... getting everything set up, testing some stuff out. I want to start having some guests in the studio. But it's a lot of work. I mean, like celebrities and stuff. Because now Zoom, everybody's doing Zoom. But it's just one of the reasons we don't, honestly, is because I've got a lot of other things to do, and I don't get paid to do this, and this is hard enough. But B, it's just like, man, I just get lazy about it. I'm just like, but it made me think of it because I ran into Justin Long today at ONF, and
he's still in town.
He's still in town because he's shooting like some indie feature around town, and I wanted to say something to him, but because I've worked in a lot of movies and stuff, you never want to be that guy. That's like the last thing. Like every bit of my on-set training is like, don't go up to celebrities when they're just like at the grocery store and be like, "Hey, are you Justin Long?" And like, "Oh yeah, of course, idiot."
Just like, "Yo, you were sick as the snooty porn dude in Zack and Miri, bro."
Yeah, you were sick in Tusk. But that's actually what I wanted to talk about because I worked on a movie with Michael Parks, and Michael Parks is one of the craziest dudes I mean, he's dead now. He died in 2017. But one of the craziest actors I've ever worked with. Like, the dude was certifiably insane, or he was just like seriously method acting the whole time when he was on set. And I wanted to ask Justin Long. He's like, "Hey, remember Tusk? Nobody else does, but I do. And what was it like working with Michael Parks?" And these are the questions that I want to ask. But we just don't have any guests, and I didn't want to just interrupt him while he was having his like organic coffee or whatever. And so I just kept walking.
You could do like that thing where you just like yell his name and then point at him and give him a thumbs up, and he's like, yeah.
"What up, Justin Long?"
I can tell you for a fact, you would not be the worst interaction he's had in this town because I know of several that I've read about or heard people talk about or witnessed the before and after and seen the pictures of where he was attacked in between. And I think he would probably be okay with you talking to him being someone who's met celebrities and interacted with people of that nature before, as we have.
Yeah.
Just be cool.
Just be cool.
Don't.
Just treat them like people. Like I remember, I don't ever have pictures. Rarely do I have pictures taken with celebrities that I meet. And there was one that I just feel weird asking, But I was working on this one film that had Paul Sparks in it, and we had a really good time. Being a sound guy, you kind of get to know the cast really well because sound guy reasons. But yeah, towards like the last week of shooting, everybody's like taking photos and stuff, and I'm not. I'm just like, whatever. Let's work, please. And then Paul comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, Bo, can I get my picture with you?" And I'm like, "Dang, dude, okay." And so that's one of the few celeb photos because they asked for my picture. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool when they're interactive back. Vince said that you should shout, "Hey, Mac dude, where's PC?" Because I'm sure he had never
heard of that. Yeah,
in a long time.
Or just give him the bat from Waiting, where he just comes around the grocery store aisle, and I've got my pants down, and I stretch my nutsack out, and
you could hit him with the brain or the bat wing.
The brain or the bat wing.
Yeah,
be like, it's bat wing, dude. And then I go to jail.
That would be so perfect.
This is a movie, dude.
Or you get him with the goat.
Get him with the goat.
Oh,
man.
wow. Things that were in Waiting that are not okay in 2021. They weren't okay then, but they were funnier, and now they're not funny anymore, I guess, except still kind of funny.
Travis over on Facebook, I want to mention this comment. It says AMC returning to being open every day starting May 27th. That's pretty cool because I'm a weekday movie kind of guy. I rarely get to see movies on Friday or Saturday night, and AMC locally is only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday right here, or here in Northwest Arkansas, I believe, but not for long.
Well, maybe they'll start having some of the later showings too, because when I watched Wrath of Man yesterday, it was at an 8 p.m. show.
That's the last show usually.
I was like, 8 p.m. Yeah, hell yeah, because I like the later shows, and no one else was around, and the staff really rushed us out of the theater. They came in before the movie was even done rolling, getting ready to clean because they were like ready to get the hell out of there for the 8 p.m. showing. So that was pretty wild. Sam also said that we could probably get Lloyd Kaufman on the show, and if we could get Lloyd Kaufman on our show.
Actually, I think I just need to get the obscure low-hanging fruit, because there's a billion and one like B movie people I could probably go,
oh man,
hey, and
we could talk to him about Sergeant Kabuki Man.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
We could ask him why he allowed Terra Firma to be made and ruin my life.
You watched that?
Yeah, because I didn't know what I was in for.
Oh my gosh,
awful.
Trauma.
Yeah. Sam also said the same rules for talking to celebrities applies to strippers when he runs into them at Hastings. Maybe that's why they shut Hastings down, was to protect strippers from Sam.
They should. Vince commenting about our podcast being up so soon. You're welcome, Vince. We've kind of gotten a pretty good routine of trying to get that uploaded and edited right after the broadcast and just sent out into the interwebs, where you can subscribe on Spotify or Tuned In or wherever you get your podcasts. So be sure to do that. Logan over on YouTube says, Marcelo Tubert. Oh, with a lot of T's. Who is this guy? He's been trying to get on our show for a while, but now I was up here earlier trying to get the technology right to where we can have like a third guest that comes in virtually right here. And I can push a button and something will happen and a guest will appear like Space Ghost or something, and it should be pretty cool. We'll test it out. I don't know. We're just
Well, we were talking about our local AMC getting where they're open up again, and hopefully everyone else's theaters are opening up more as well. Our local drive-in theater, which actually did spectacularly well last year, is open again. They're showing movies. Last week they had Footloose and Mamma Mia, which I didn't know about and sounded like it would be a lot of fun. And then I guess this week they're showing Grease and Dirty Dancing. There was a couple of years ago, we went and we watched Footloose and Dirty Dancing as a double feature, which was a lot of fun. So I bet Grease would be a lot of fun at the drive-in, being cars and stuff. You don't like Grease?
Nope.
Oh, wow. What about Grease 2, where it's a motorcycle instead?
Nope. You can keep your Grease. That movie, That I mean, like you want to talk? Let's move on. Like I'll get triggered talking about Grease and Grease Lightning and weird sexually predatory songs.
Oh yeah.
And just
For
poodle
sure.
skirts and John Travolta's and Olivia Newton-John's, and I don't want to. It's not the one that I want. Okay. Like it's just let's just drop Grease. That movie sucks. I hate Grease. I hate Grease. It's not good for you. Grease is bad. So there we go. I said it. Stole my mama's credit. I'm cool. I'm hot. Sock you in the stomach 3 more times.
Vince said that Stand By Me and West Side Story are going to be part of Fathom events coming up.
That could be cool.
I would go watch Stand By Me in the movie theater.
Yeah.
With Kiefer Sutherland just being a wicked kid.
Wicked douche.
Wesley Crusher leading his gang of
getting leeches on his peener.
Ralph the Mouth and friggin'
telling the story about the kid that vomited at the pie eating contest. That's like the best scene in that whole movie.
Yeah, what's that dude that grew up to be like a good looking guy, but in that movie he's like a fat kid?
Oh, and he was in Sliders.
Yeah.
And I forget his name, but yeah, that guy. I had it, and like it just slipped away.
I know. I'm thinking of the movies he's in, and I can't remember what his name is. Off Jerry something. And it has a Joaquin Phoenix. It has River Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
What a good movie.
Yep. It is a good one. News. Let's hit some news real quick. I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a trailer drop this week. Oh, Jerry O'Connell. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks.
There was a new trailer drop this week for Venom.
Yep.
Let There Be Carnage is the name of this one. Did you see this one?
I did, yeah. Where's our cricket sound?
Yeah, I can't do it. The whistle is not wet enough.
I mean, it looked a lot like the first movie. More Venom eating people. More
watch me do kitchen gags.
more interaction with the bodega lady.
Yeah, it's probably going to make a lot of money because the shitty formula of the last one seemed to make a lot of money. So it looks like they're going to do the exact same thing. Now it's just Woody Harrelson somehow. I actually like Woody Harrelson quite a bit. But I just don't understand this role. And, Carnage is, Venom's a good guy, I guess, like full on good guy now, which I don't quite understand. But, and it's funny that he wants to eat people, I guess. I don't know.
While Tom Hardy's walking around, he's cooking egg toast and chicken and stuff.
And people are like, "Hey, what's up, Venom?" And Venom's like, symbiote alien from another universe. Oh, what's up, dude? Can I have a Snickers? And you're like, I don't know. I didn't like the trailer at all. The song was inappropriate too, where it was like, 1 is the loneliest number, but you got a symbiote, I guess, so you're never alone. I don't know. Yeah. And did you see the screen grabs released from the new Game of Thrones prequel?
I did, but you know what? Before we move away from the Venom thing too much, since we talked about Welcome Back to the Movies, in that trailer, they have twice, only in theaters, and then at the end, only in movie theaters. So they really hammered it home that you're not
You're
get
not
this
gonna
one on
get this
streaming
on demand for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think another theater chain, I can't remember which one it was, but I was reading a couple days ago, signed a deal with some movie studios to like shorten that theatrical window again.
Yeah.
So it's just
that was
getting
something I
shorter.
talked about. Yeah. But yeah, the Game of Thrones, the Dragons show, they now have some on-set
about
in
the
costume.
least likable butthole like house of all houses, and everyone's like, well, let's do a whole show about the people that everyone hates. Cool.
What if there's more brother-sister kissing in this show?
Yeah, we need more of it. Just chock full of brother-sister kissing
And it's
and
supposed
dragons.
to be 200 years prior to the show, so are there even there's probably not even going to be dragons, because weren't the dragons all dead
for a long ass time?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's probably going to be Borefest 9000 money grab. It's all it is. It's just how do we keep beating the dead horse, the series.
Well, you know what? Something Vince just said. If the new Mortal Kombat wasn't on HBO, we probably never would have watched it. Yeah, it's a turd movie. But speaking of HBO and the things like that, House of Dragons, Mortal Kombat. Did you see that someone finally put Jean-Claude Van Damme in Mortal Kombat? They did a deep fake on the 95 movie, and they replaced Lyndon Ashby with Jean-Claude Van Damme's face because the whole reason Mortal Kombat exists as a game was it started as a blood sport video game with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it fell through because the guys making the game wanted the violence and they wanted to keep it bloody, and the movie studio didn't want that. So it started as a Jean-Claude Van Damme game. They had to scrap it, and instead of Jean-Claude Van Damme, they gave you Johnny Cage. And so now we have Johnny Cage as Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's pretty cool. So that's a thing that's out there that you can watch. Cool.
Dude, that soundtrack is rad.
Yeah. But yeah, you can actually see the deep fake with Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's pretty.
I'll have to check that out. Deep
good.
fakes are so weird.
Now, I mean, Lyndon Ashby was a killer. Johnny Cage. He improvised a lot of those lines. He came up with them on the scene, like when Liu Kang throws his luggage in the water, and he goes, "I'm glad I didn't give him the car." And and when Goro breaks the sunglasses, and he's like, "Those are $500 sunglasses, asshole." All of that was him, the actor, coming up with those lines, making Johnny Cage the Johnny Cage that you remember. So, you know, nothing to take away from him. But considering that Johnny Cage was Jean-Claude when it originally started out, it's kind of cool to see that finally happen.
If they had only deep faked somehow the dancing scene with Jean-Claude where he's dancing in that little cafe, I think it's from, what movie is that from? You know, yeah, where that movie.
Is it from Lionheart?
No, it's like some No Retreat, No Surrender style. Like
there's a couple.
Is it
movies,
Kickboxer?
No. There's a couple movies where he dances in them. Kickboxer is blood sport, except he's like a slave that's forced to fight.
Yeah.
No, that's The Quest.
Yeah, I think it might be Kickboxer.
The Quest is a remake of Kickboxer.
I don't know. They're all the same movie.
A lot of them are the same movie. They're literally the same movie. The Quest was a remake of Kickboxer for television because Jean-Claude Van Damme was caught in a contract with the studio.
Oh, my God.
Fun fact, actors get caught in contracts, and that's why sometimes they have movies that are really bad, and you're like, oh, why are
like Double Impact.
Terrible movie. Double Impact rules, dude.
What?
Yeah. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme. Two Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Man, I don't know.
And it's not like Time Cop where if they touch, they implode and die forever.
Okay. All right. Which was the one where he was with Rob Schneider, and there was the exploding buttons on the blue jeans, and they had to stop all these blue jeans from getting imported from China because they were gonna like detonate and like blow everybody's dicks off.
I don't know.
Oh man, God, Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
I feel like I haven't seen this, and I really need to.
No, it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Schneider's the comedic relief in that one, and I cannot remember the name of it. I guarantee you, someone's going to Google it and throw it right there in the comments, really quick. Shout outs to Blake, who just tuned in on Facebook over there at Rock Hill Studios. What's good? Hey, Blake, thanks for tuning in.
Talking about Mortal Kombat stuff, Vince said they just put the original live action Mortal Kombat movie on HBO. Now you can watch the bad one and the good one.
Both of them. Knockoff. Vince had it over on Twitch. Knockoff. We like knockoff jeans.
Or Sam says Denim of Rage. That would be good.
Oh, man. Streets of Rage with Denim of Rage. Anyway, what else is going on in the news?
Well, since we talked about Venom, Sony also announced that their live-action Cinderella musical will be going straight to streaming. So while Venom is only in movie theaters, Cinderella live-action will be straight to Amazon.
Because it probably would have done so well at the theater.
Beauty and the Beast did. Lion
King did. Already have a Cinderella knockoff? Was it Snow White? They did. It's like
Snow
every
White.
4 or 5 years we seem to get another one of those.
But it has Idina Menzel, Pierce Brosnan, Minnie Driver, Missy Elliott. I mean, you got some big names in here. I don't know who Missy Elliott's supposed to be. I imagine she's the fairy godmother. I would love it if she was Gus Gus. Can you just imagine, like, Missy Elliott in, like, one of those outfits she wears in her music videos, like one of those, like
weird balloon suits that she's got.
One thickness, that drops down, and she's
Gus.
Yeah.
But, like, it'd probably be all CGI'd like Cats, where everybody looks like a monster.
Yeah, or I hope they would do, like, SNL, where they just shrink them down on green screen effect, and it's real bad.
It's real tiny and stupid.
How fun would that be if she's, like... Hip, 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 as Gus.
She's going to put her thing down, flip it, and reverse it.
Yeah. That would be great. But
eat the cheese like a vulture.
Just like Cats, this was the story, and it was produced both by James Corden, who co-starred in Cats, and is a big guy on the musical circuit, doing the Tonys and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see what happens with that, if it gains any traction or anything, which, being on Amazon, it may. There might be a lot of people at home, and they're like, well, I fucking love musicals. But
I think a lot, Amazon Prime Video has, the pandemic was good to Amazon, and Amazon Prime Video, it has done leaps and bounds. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I've been watching I've been watching more Amazon Prime. They got their navigator a little bit more dialed in than it used to be. So that's definitely helped. Did you hear about this? Speaking of Jason Statham, which we're going to be reviewing Wrath of Man later in the show, they are starting production in early 2022 for a sequel to The Meg.
Okay, well, that seems like it took them longer than what I figured it would have with the success of that movie.
I think they just had to get the 2020 and what no one knew. They had to get that out of the way.
Aren't there? It's based on a book, and aren't there several books? Like, someone's already put this story out there. Some
fan fiction, some slash fiction is out there about somebody having sex with a sea monster or Meg. That's how that stuff goes, man.
Where did that come from? We're talking
all that
about like
slash fan fiction.
Actual line of books that this movie was based on. And you're like, yeah, but what if someone got down on the shark?
Dude, that's how all that crap gets written. Like, look at 50 Shades of Grey. It was Twilight fan fiction, man. That's what it was. And then there's like Harry Potter fan fiction, and it's all you never want to.
I don't know where this came from. You just started throwing this out there. Well, to step away from something like that, but not too far, I guess, half step. Earlier when you said that you don't like Grease because of some of the lyrics in the songs and the way that they act, and things that are similar to fan fiction, you see that Seth Rogen was interviewed in a British... Britain's Sunday Times, and he said that he no longer plans on working with James Franco anytime in the future.
Anybody's really working with James Franco.
He said he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't since the 2018 accusations, and has no plans to in the future, because with these things, it's affected them professionally, of course, and also turns out personally, because he feels very strongly about that. And so even some of his closest friends and collaborators are stepping away from him and making that public now 3 years later. So that's a thing. But I guess that was because Rogan was called an enabler of old James Franco by Charlene Yee. And he's like, not me. Not really my thing.
Gotta back away from that one.
Yeah, which Franco himself, when asked about these things, said that he had plenty of stuff he could say to defend himself, but he wasn't going to get in the way of people that were underrepresented. So he was just going to let all of them speak and say what they wanted to say, and get out of the way. But so he's been quiet. But Seth Rogen's like, yeah, not for me. So
yeah, first time, the main.
Yeah.
In other news, Legendary Pictures, this just blew my mind. They're wanting to do a remake of Faces of Death. I don't know if you guys remember this. Faces of Death was kind of an old VHS cult, sort of weird video store, Orama kind of stuff. It's like that. There's a cassette tape over in the weird aisle, blah, 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 and it's just like a compilation of video clips of people getting killed, and it's called Faces of Death, and they made several of them, but it was like banned everywhere, and yada, 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 and you had to know a friend that had a copy of the VHS, and you're just like, oh, man, look at this. I mean, it's basically YouTube now. But they're wanting to do this sort of modern day horror movie remake of Faces of Death, which is stupid. I think it just makes no sense. They're just trying to struggle to find some sort of bit of content to make a movie out of. And from the team behind the indie horror movie Cam, they're wanting to make a Faces of Death story involving a YouTube moderator who discovers a group of people recreating the deaths from the original movie. Which, I mean, there was like 15 or 17 or 105 of these Faces of Death movies. But really weird. I like when I saw that pop up in my news feed, I was like, man, Faces of Death. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long, long time.
Oh, apparently there's some news about the Obi-Wan stuff out there too.
Obi-Wan
screenshots or whatever.
Obi-Wan.
Sam said that Muppet Faces of Death is still his jam. Funny you say that, because actually here in this past week, Disney announced that they're going to have the Muppet Haunted Mansion special on Disney Plus, which is the very first ever Muppet Halloween special. They've never done.
I know, it's
Halloween.
weird.
They've done Christmas. They've done Pirates, but they've never
Halloween
done
is
Halloween.
is cool now, man.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Halloween.
And you know what? Talking about deaths, something sad news from last week. On Friday, Tawny Katane passed away.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Man.
she was on
another one.
several covers of Rat albums, and she was in like 4 Whitesnake videos, but she was in a couple of movies, and
She was the Lisa. You know, you ever see the stereotype Lisa? She's, I can't. It was like in a lot of movies. They're like the Lisa is always like the cool rocker chick that like hangs out with the band and all this kind of stuff. Travis asks, "Are you guys going to the NWA Comic Con in early August?" That's right here in Northwest Arkansas.
Is it?
Well, it's NWA Comic Con. I assume Northwest Arkansas, right?
Well, there's a Arkansas Comic Con that's happening in Little Rock, and it has several bigger people that make it seem like it would be something to go to.
I usually don't. I always forget, or they're on weekends. I can't ever do anything on weekends. You know, I run a bar. Like I'm just trapped.
They're on weekends when everyone else can go.
Yeah,
to
I
them,
can't.
I can't.
So I can't do fun things ever.
I tend not to like to go to many conventions. There's a lot of people there.
A lot of freaking nerds.
A lot of nerds. Just the packed in people, and the only thing to really do there is walk and spend money. And those are two things that just I do not like to do.
This is true. He lives totally within walking distance of both his job at the bar and my bar. And he's like, yo, dude, it's a long-ass way. I got to find one of these electric scooters, bro.
Until they brought those scooters in, I was like, I'm just hanging at home. But, yeah, I don't know. You really have to have a big name that I like, Justin Long, someone that I think I could talk to about some things for me to go. Like when we would go to our pinball festival and there was like Elvira or Sam Jones,
John Rhys Davies,
you know, people like that, the Munsters, that I was like, well, I can talk to these people. There's not really anything I could talk to the Red Ranger about, like, hey, so Red Ranger or whatever, right? Is that the Arkansas Comic Con, or is I don't know who's going to be
so
the
punching
NWA
and
one.
stuff, huh?
Yeah, but there's like a couple of these people that are going to be around, and it's always like some cosplayer you've never heard of, someone that does anime voices of shows you've never seen, you know. And I there's not a lot of attraction to going to those for me if it's something where I don't know the people to interact with, you know.
So then I guess you're not going to be there.
Probably not. I mean, if
what if we just had our own booth? And it's like, come meet the guys from the drive. We just go around to Comic Cons and have our own booth, and then everybody's like, these guys must be important. Let's make
it seem like we're really important guys, and like fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I mean that's how everybody else does it. So let's get on board.
We could do like those guys at the pinball festival where they do their podcast out in
at
the
the
hall
thing, and just like, God, talking about nothing. They're just like, oh, somebody just walked by me wearing sneakers, cool sneakers, guy.
Well, it looks like Sam's going, and he's going to be wearing his Sean Connery Zardoz costume.
Only if you wear your, because we could just braid your hair down into like that butt ponytail that has like a knife on the end of it.
I'm not going to wear a Zardoz costume.
And then we just stick you in the Zardoz costume and give you a little gun, and you just run around like whipping that ponytail at people and like having your butt cheeks all hang out.
Yeah. Doing those stances with the hair flying. I'll go to the Comic-Con if Sam's there in his Zardoz costume for sure.
And I will make sure I'm not. So there.
Yeah, I can't see. Bleach your eyeballs.
Psst.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This first half of the show is going by really, really fast. We should probably jump into talking about the movie we saw.
Okay, hold on. I got one more bit of news.
More
Did
news.
you see
Good
that
Lord.
Disney issued out there for your considerations to get their Emmys rolling, and they had the entire cast of Mandalorian basically, including Gina Carano. So despite the fact that they fired her and got rid of her and distanced themselves completely,
They needed to have her there.
they still want her to win an Emmy and put her on there for your consideration list because Emmy eligibility ends at the end of this month. So for all
Was
of you
Grogu there?
for all of you that care about awards and stuff that don't matter, Disney would really like to see Gina Carano get one. That way they can say, the Mandalorian won 5,000 Emmys, so best show ever. Yeah.
I think I want an Emmy.
Well,
I think it's on my IMDb.
Sign on to work for. Oh, you think you won one?
I think I'm credited with winning an Emmy.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, because anybody can freaking win an Emmy. It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's like they give those things away. Because you got to buy them, and they're expensive little freaking trophies.
Wait, when you win one, they're like, okay,
Yeah,
to keep
here we
one,
go.
that's like
One
$500.
win. See more awards. Oh, no, it wasn't an Emmy. It was a Telly. So, whatever.
Wow, way to boost yourself up
Yeah, I
there.
guess.
Y'all won a friggin' Emmy. Oh, it was a daytime Emmy. Oh, it wasn't even daytime Emmy.
It was a Telly.
Oh, it wasn't a Telly. It was like a Razzie.
Dude, I would love to win a Razzie.
That would be sick.
Heck yeah.
There might be a movie or two out there where you have won a Razzie and you just don't know.
I hope so.
If they have a Christian movie category.
Oh, maybe. I always said no to those movies.
Didn't you end up on the one or two that, like the one with the Platinum Angry Man?
No, I said no to God's Not Dead.
Now, what was the one about the
2, 3, and 4.
The football?
Oh, Greater.
Yeah.
No. All right. Let's talk about
Wrath of Man.
Let's talk about Wrath of Man. Vince says baller move to not even know if you want an Emmy. I don't even know, dude. I don't know, dude. Maybe. So many of them out there. Wrath of Man, the new film right here from Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie, everybody knows Guy Ritchie from, I guess, and wasn't he married to Madonna for like a hot second? Mm-hmm. But, everybody remembers, his sort of quick jump cuts, overly stylized, sort of weird sort of editing style. But he kind of stopped after, what was it, Rock and Rolla or something. And he didn't do a lot of movies that anyone gave a shit about for a while. Until, I take that back. Sherlock Holmes. Everybody lost their mind, but then there was the Man from U.N.C.L.E. I think that nobody cared about.
It was actually a decent movie, though.
I don't remember any of it.
It had Superman in it, and it's like a spy thriller, and yeah.
There you go.
It's not a bad movie,
it's
but
a movie.
It's based on a property that people just weren't familiar with because someone was like, oh, I really liked this when I was a kid, and we should do this. And then everyone else was like, what is it?
Yeah. Well, anyway, Wrath of Man, the new film, Jason Statham coming back, one less job. And
no, this is not that kind of
he
movie,
says
though.
job like 4 times, and I couldn't stop laughing in the theater. He's like, I'll take the job. What do I got to do to get this job? Just hire me for this job. I'm going to do this job better than anybody's ever done this job.
He doesn't say that because they're like, hey, we need you to do this job. He's like, I don't want to do it.
He goes, job. He said job. I'm not going to do this job.
They're like, oh, would you please? And he's like, no. And they're like,
I'll do this job.
But we really need you to. And he's like, okay.
No, I'm talking about when he goes to apply at the place, the armored car place. And he's like, I'm here looking for a job. I'm going to do this job.
He barely talks in this movie.
Yeah, and he says job. Like 20% of the words that come out of his mouth were job.
No.
It's just a job. Anyway, Guy Ritchie, Jason Statham, Josh Hartnett, interestingly enough, making an appearance in this movie. You don't see Josh Hartnett a whole lot after, the Penny Dreadful show that he was on. And Holt McCallany, that guy... when you see him, you always know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's pretty much dead giveaway. Right?
Anytime he is in a movie, you're like, oh, Holt's here, double cross. You just know it, because that guy is cast to be. He's
a friendly bad guy.
He just looks like an asshole. But he's like, why are you so nice? Because you look like an asshole. And then you're like, that's right. He was an asshole the whole time. And like every freaking movie he's in.
That's true. He's one of those guys where it's like, oh, I think I saw him do that in that movie. You're like, oh, yeah, which of the 20 movies are you thinking of?
Every single one of them.
And you're like, oh, this one where that happened. You're like, oh, it was actually that one. You're like, oh, well, this one where that happened. Well, that was these 5.
All of these ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, Wrath of Man, action thriller, about 2 hours long.
It's like action, crime thriller, murder, mystery, revenge movie.
It ever since John Wick happened, we've gotten a lot of these like overly action guy with a set of skills that, is kind of Taken kind of did a springboard into what gave us John Wick. They're like, how can we make Taken again?
You're discrediting a lot of like revenge.
No. You didn't let me finish. I'm just saying we have gotten to this point where it's become big budget, like high profile to do this kind of storyline. Where the bad guy is the good guy, because in Taken, Liam Neeson's a good guy. He's a good guy with a set of skills, But in this movie, Jason Statham is not a good guy. He is not at all a good guy. But
minor spoiler.
But he's not a good guy. I mean,
no. I mean, you find out in the second chapter of the 4 or 5 chapters,
or the first 15 minutes when he like puts a bullet through somebody's face.
No, but he was doing his job.
He's doing his what?
Yeah.
Doing his job.
See where Sam said if Jason Statham's ever on Cameo, you should pay him to say one last job 30 times.
God. Oh, my God, please.
Then you could just take a sound clip from that and press the button instead of you saying it all the time.
Just, I'm looking for a job. Want to apply for this job.
Yeah.
Can I get a job?
But in the first chapter, he's just a mysterious badass, and he's murking friggin' tattoo face Magoo. What's his name? Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone. Yeah. Stinky McButt.
Yeah.
Brush your teeth, Post Malone. Ugh. But
he called that pickup truck a flatbed. Idiot. What an idiot.
So, again, one thing to say. This movie was divided up into clear, hard-cut, title-carded chapters, which, it made very defined acts. Which was interesting in a sense that I know Guy Ritchie was trying to do something. I felt it was completely unnecessary, because one of the things that Guy Ritchie loves to do is he likes to jump back and forward in time. Again, kind of unnecessary, because the flashback for this like catalyst moment that set all these things in motion. Another thing that Guy Ritchie loves to do is this. He loves kind of butterfly effect sort of stories, and this movie, while somewhat of a butterfly effect story, really isn't. It's just kind of a wrong moment, sort of kind of a wrong turn sort of problem that culminates into why this dude is going and murking unrelentlessly tons of people for no reason.
There's a reason.
I mean, there is a reason.
He's doing his job.
What is his job? That's what I want to know.
To protect money.
Is that his job?
Yeah, they say that in the movie. We hired you to move money. You hired me to protect money.
But what was his real job?
Protecting money.
No, he only got that job to infiltrate. Duh. No spoilers. Yeah. It's in the trailer. What was his real job? That's my only complaint. This movie was fun and full of beating people up and shooting people in the face and ass kicking and revenge and all the fun stuff that you like out of Jason Statham. But there was so many empty like plot holes that were just left loose that work in a John Wick environment where you're like, ooh, left up to mystery. But there's just like, who was the
like what?
Oh gosh, Andy Garcia. Who was Andy Garcia?
He was like an FBI dude.
No, he wasn't. He was like a political dude.
That wasn't a political
dude.
He
was wearing a flag on his lapel. Only political dudes do that.
No. He was a 3-letter agency guy. He was FBI, CIA, someone like that, because the FBI agents, who they literally told you were friggin' FBI,
for like 2 seconds
to him.
Yeah.
They reported to him.
So he was a crooked, dirty FBI?
No, he wasn't. He was a straight FBI guy making sure that stuff was getting done. It's literally spoon-fed to you, bro.
If he was
what movie were you watching?
No, if he was a total straight edge like FBI dude, then why was he just like, okay, cool, at the end of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil for anyone, he's like, all right, fist bumps, I'm going to go up here where there's bags of cash.
To reclaim it and return it. He was an FBI dude, bro.
And so why was he cool with Jason Statham doing all
They
that?
explain it in the movie.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they do.
Maybe it was when I went pee, like, and it explained it because I ran to pee.
Here's your spoilers that aren't spoilers because we already told you about the deal. The two FBI guys are like, oh, he's a bad guy and he's right where he wants to be. Should we be worried about it? And he's like, no, because he's going to do something that we've tried to do for 26 years and can't get it done. And that's not what he's there for. So just let him have at it. And then in the flashback, he
What
goes,
was he trying to
I
do
can
for
only look
26
the
years?
other way to shut down the friggin' armored car theft ring.
They'd only been doing it for 5 months.
They were talking about Jason Statham.
But then they let him go.
Because he was over it, dude.
Yeah, now I'm over it, dude. That makes no sense. And Andy Garcia is just like, all right, dude, cool. I've only been chasing you for 26 years. And I guess now because reasons, I'm going to let you go. What? Just because you murdered a lot of people?
You have your inside guy, and you have your Statham crew, and they're all friggin' armored car robbers.
No, I get
dudes.
that. Right?
So
I
were
get
like,
that.
Hey, we're shutting it all down. We're going to let them take care of each other.
But they weren't shutting it all down because there was one scene where Jason Statham rolls out the car, and he's just like, I'm here at this job. And they're like, oh, shit, it's boss. We got to get out of here. And then they, like, roll away in the middle of armored car robbery, which they clearly have not stopped doing.
Now that we've given you the entire plot in the same format that the movie did.
You don't go to movies like this for plot. You go to movies like this for watching dudes get gunned down.
Straight up, it's really good. It's actually a lot of fun, and I don't know why you couldn't follow this movie.
I mean, I could follow it. It was just like, oh, revenge. You know, I'm gonna take this job because this is the only way I can. Even though I have infinite sway and ability and money and power and people get out of my way and afraid of me, I got to go take a blue-collar job for 6 months to figure this out.
You mean like how in the part of the movie they show that they couldn't sort it out, so he had to infiltrate to figure out the friggin' mystery?
I just think that they weren't trying hard enough.
Guy, are you kidding me, dog?
I'm not kidding
They
you,
showed
dog.
you that they were trying hard enough. They shot them porno dudes.
I know. They did shoot the porno dudes. But then that was like, you know, it's like a bunch of dudes that have never really done this before. And they're like, well, we were in Afghanistan, so now
They
we're...
smacked that butthole man around and they're like, hey, dude, give us info. He's like, oh, we'll give you info. We're like, well, what if we put a plastic bag on her face? And he's like, oh, well, here's the info. And they're like, cool, have some money. Don't say anything. Bye. We're going to go
check out these porno dudes. Yeah, and then they did, and then the porno dudes were like, well, we don't know. And I don't know, like, you remember, what was it, Three Kings? You remember Three Kings with, it was like Ice Cube and, you know, George Clooney, and they're like, oh, hey, we're you know, military dudes, we're going to go steal all this, like, Israeli gold or whatever, and get away with it. But you know what they didn't do? Like, shoot everybody with reckless abandon. And
that was the thing about this movie. There's the wild card.
But everybody was shooting everybody at the end, just like, oh, shit.
Because at the end, it was warfare, man.
I mean, I guess.
You had the wild card, and they were trying to get 200.
And why did the wild card have to have, like, the scar? You know, it's just like, okay, he just looks like
that was
every generic bad guy stereotype. I don't know.
Oh, the man that shot me.
Oh, he's got a disfiguring eyeball. Like, I mean, what did they borrow that straight out of Last Action Hero?
Well, and one of the armored car drivers also had a scarred and blind, disfigured
eyeball.
Why didn't they roll that into it somehow? Yeah, don't nitpick it, man. It was a fun movie.
I mean, it was
fun.
fun.
I had a good time. But I liked it.
It was, I mean...
Until this conversation.
Well, I mean, there was just a lot of just parts, and I'm just like, okay, come on, exist in your world.
They did.
I mean, I just wanted to know more about, like... Andy Garcia and Jason Statham, and why Jason Statham is so a big badass.
He's a spook, man. He's like a CIA guy or FBI dude or whatever he needs to be, and you don't need to know about him. That's the whole point of those dudes.
I know. I don't know.
It was. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was really fun, and Miramax putting it out was really cool because you don't see a lot of movies coming out from Miramax. Miramax is always known for some really good old school action films. But yeah, it was good. Sam mentioned the police chief from Last Action Hero died last week. Speaking of Last Action Hero, yeah, Frank McRae was a pretty good actor, comedian. He was also, I believe, in Batteries Not Included, which was kind of a funny role for him because I don't think he said much in that movie, and he was very known for his very loud, hilarious mouth. But yeah, Frank McRae died. Pouring one out for old Frank McRae. But
is he like the hand me your badge guy?
Oh, of course. Yeah. Put your badge on the table. You know, that kind of the epitome of angry police chief, and I mean, I guess if you go back to Beverly Hills Cop. That police chief was, I don't know if he really kicked it off as
the Detroit police chief?
Detroit police chief.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's dead too.
I was about to say, because the Beverly Hills police chief was the dude from RoboCop. And
Yeah.
Star Trek.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was awesome. Anyway, Wrath of Man,
Mars.
Good revenge movie. It's fun. It's Jason Statham capping a bunch of dudes that probably deserve it. It's a heist. It's a whodunit.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
There's the
Action,
you son of a bitch, I'm
revenge,
in. You got the whole
crime, thriller, murder, mystery, heist movie. It has everything. Man.
It was fun. It was fun. I mean, you're not gonna get a lot of it's not Tempest or anything, but it's good. It's fun.
I liked the chapter format. It made the flashbacks better rather than just jumping into the flashbacks. That way, when they did 4 years ago or 12 months ago or 800 years beforehand.
I think you're just really ready for another Fast and the Furious, and you're just like this.
June, I need it.
You're just like, if I can get just a little bit of Statham and a little bit of cars and a
well,
little bit
dude,
of guns.
I have an underglow kit that I've been waiting to put on my car. I have all the stuff to do it and redo my side
Are you
skirts.
serious?
No, dude, I've been wanting to do this forever. There's actually more to it that I want to do, and I just don't have the
for
time.
the movie.
No,
You're doing
dude, just for forever.
Are you gonna be one of those guys?
Underglow's hot again, bro. And I was on this train way before people started doing it again.
Like in 1996.
No, this is LEDs now, not neon. Neon would be sick.
Dude, neon underglow. I remember in the 90s, and then everybody's like,
I would driving around our area, I'd scrape something, all the neon would escape.
Yeah, it would not work. Vince says we should use the underglow for our chairs in the studio, but then you couldn't see it.
Yeah, no one would ever see it.
Yeah.
But we would know.
We'd feel
I guess
pretty
we'd have
cool.
that underglow, like.
When you got the underglow, your mind's made up. Yeah. Sam asks, I wonder how underglow looks under Jake's Geo Metro.
Bro, I wish I had a Metro to just like hot boy out. I would wrap it
Geo Metros
with
cool
something
again?
stupid. No, Geo Metros are trash. But that's what I'm saying.
I could make them cool.
Yeah, I would hot boy it out. I'd have a big spoiler on it, and I'd make it some like real bright color with ridiculous wrap on
Some
it.
ground effects and some underglow.
Yeah,
And
full body aero kit, wide body Metro.
why people do these things. It's so hard to make those things look cool.
We just
like,
did it.
I think it requires exhibit and like a toaster in your trunk or something to pimp your ride properly. But most of the time when I see people
we could have an air fryer in it. That's hot right now.
Yo, dog, I heard you like Totino's pizza rolls, so we put an air fryer in your dash.
Yo, that's what I could do. I could wrap it in a Totino, in a pizza roll bag. I could have like a pizza roll bag wrap put on the on the car.
Now we're talking. Like, sign me up. Totino's, call us. Follow us on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube.
Actually, Hot Wheels made a Totino's pizza roll or Totino's car, and it was a Gremlin.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sam says, I always wanted to pimp a Ford Aerostar. Funny story. Me too. Because it had that really long, like, spaceship pointed, like, windshield on the front. And I believe in the movie Get Shorty, the feature film that I think had what, John, who's in Get Shorty? It had, oh, gosh.
It has Danny DeVito.
Yeah, Danny DeVito and the angry guy from the Hoosiers. God, what is his name? He's
Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Gene Hackman. Had Gene Hackman and
isn't Travolta in that?
Yeah, John Travolta, and then the Lethal Weapon 3 love interest. God, this is how my brain works. Anyway, there's a pimped out Aerostar, like a black pimped out like Aerostar minivan. I want to say in that movie where Rene Russo. Thank you, Vince. And I pulled up and I was like, sick! Like a cool, slicked out, black, dark windowed Aerostar minivan.
Minivans, bro.
Dude, minivans are cool. They're so versatile. They're so just practical.
Dude, I'll tell you what, if you got like a 4-wheel or all-wheel drive Odyssey or Sienna, or one of those jacked up 4-wheel drive Pacificas.
Oh, dude.
That's your speed right there.
Dude. I would
off-road
straight
Pacifica.
up get me a tricked out minivan. I would be about it.
I really want a oh shit, what were they called? The Chevy mid-engine cars. There's a van and it's really cool. I'll remember in a minute.
Yeah, as soon as we log off, we'll be like, oh yeah. But anyway, before this turns into a car talk, we're like click and clack over here. Are they still on the radio? Do they still do the thing? You're tuning in the car talk. We're from Brooklyn. I'm like, do you guys ever listen to that show?
No.
And they're like, yeah, honk your horn. We'll tell you what kind of hardcore it is. Yeah, that's that show. It used to come on NPR all the time. Am I the only guy that listened to Car Talk? Okay, yeah. The producer, he listened to Car Talk. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here.
Oh, I got an upgrade.
I said pre. I said pre. Oh, Sam says one of them died. Pour one out for Click or Clack. One of the Car Talk guys. I guess that's why they're never on anymore. But anyway, all right. Well, we're out of time. We're gonna get out of here. Even though I wanted to spend a minute talking about new movies that are coming out this weekend. May 14th, we have the new Saw film Spiral. Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson. Where did they get the budget for these guys?
And I already saw that they're in the talks for Spiral too.
Oh, good grief. Also coming out this weekend with Angelina Jolie, we've got Those Who Wish Me Dead, directed by Taylor Sheridan.
That's another HBO theater simultaneous release.
Yep. And
the trailer I saw for it the other day actually made it look interesting. They gave some context and story to it. She's like a fire watcher, and there's a kid who has to escape criminals, and she helps him, and they're running from a forest fire at the same time or something. So
yeah. And on limited release, probably not going to come to a theater near you, another Mads Mikkelsen film that I want to see called Riders of Justice. Another one of those where Mads is just kicking a bunch of ass.
Is that the one, the trailer I sent you the other day?
Where he's on the train?
Well, yeah, where his family is killed on a train from a terrorist attack, and the other families are like, hey, our families were on there too. And he's like, well, I was in the military, and it's time to train y'all on how to ruin these dudes.
Yep. And it's Mads Mikkelsen, so boom. But that's what's coming out in theaters this week. We will be back next week to talk about something. We'll figure it out once next week comes around. So feel free to like, subscribe, share, find that podcast, download it. It'll be updated here in about 20 minutes out on wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends. You can always like and subscribe on our Facebook, our Twitch, or our YouTube. And, hey, if you subscribe on Twitch and we get enough followers, we can become affiliates, and then we can do all kinds of fun stuff that we cannot do now on Twitch. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Shout-outs to everybody that tuned in. We really love hearing from you and talking with you. You guys really made the show survive, honestly, through the pandemic, because we didn't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about since there was no new movies. But anyway, I'm, as always, the boom operator.
I'm the grip.
And we will see you guys next week. Bye now. See ya. Bye.